Good morning. Alright, so I am working on the video to my hamburger buns recipe. And all the recipe on my tablet says is hamburger buns. It takes 5.5 hours to make them, and it makes about 16 buns. I made 19 in this recipe, but I'm looking online and I cannot find this recipe. It is nowhere. My first search was just hamburger buns. That yielded absolutely nothing. So I don't know where this recipe is, other than saved on my tablet. Which I guess the lesson here is to, if you find a good recipe, you better save it to something, print it out, put it in a binder, something, because I cannot find this recipe. And I want to go through the recipe because I want to do a deep dive into what it costs. I don't do that with every video, so I would like to do it with this one. But my gosh, where is this recipe? So my hamburger buns recipe says, we couldn't pass up the chance to resurrect this recipe. First published in 2002, it's from reader Joyce McClelland of Terre Haute, Indiana. So let's try this lady's name. Maybe that'll get it. Alright, apparently I got it from Epicurus. So I finally found the recipe. Talk about tough. It should not be that hard to look up a recipe. I hate it when they... Stop that! Good God! This is awful. What is that? How do you get that off of there? I cannot find a way to get that horrible mess on the bottom off. So let's jump to recipe. Or not. Where is it? Jump to recipe. Oh my goodness! You can't get it. You can't get it. Oh, Jesus. This is... Good thing I saved it on my tablet. That might be what we're going to do. Well, here we go. Here's one from Gourmet Magazine. I might have to put this one on my website. That makes me mad. All right, so here we go. I think I found... Not secure. Wonderful. All right, so here it is, folks. And it looks like gourmet.com got it on 2008. Is there something else that's a little safer? No, not really. No! Why would I want to do that? Good grief. It says set up my recipe, or my address, so that I can get locations that are closer. Why would I want to do that? Alright, so here is the recipe, finally. So what I want to do is go back to here, cancel, let's remove that, I'm going to remove that, and we're going to go back to Myers, and I want to show you how much buying the ingredients for this recipe would cost. Now, as y'all know, I cannot get to Myers, but Myers is considered an affordable grocery store. It's got a little bit better prices on some things than my local grocery, but not on others, so it's weird. All right, so let's start with the milk. So we'll just say that we're going to buy a gallon of milk at $2.62. And water. Water is free. Yeast. Now, all day long, this is the yeast I'm going to buy. It's going to be Bob's Red Mill Active Dry Yeast, 8 ounces. It's $5.99 at Myers. I think I paid like $8.50 for it off of Amazon, because I'm just simply not, I can't get to Myers. It is 8 miles away. That's a little bit far for me to bike right now. It is possible that I could get fit enough to do it, but it's not a thing that's happening right now. We need sugar. So I need sugar. Wow, is that high? I get my sugar free from the food pantry, so wow, is that high? $3.19. Wow, that's high. That's even worse. All right, and we'll go for flour. Well, let's just do this in order. After the sugar comes butter. And the butter with canola oil is on sale. So there's not much of a difference here between the butter's $3.99. That's actually not a bad price. All right, so we'll say that you actually bought real butter. In my recipe, I actually used vegetable oil, and it's also $3.99. So regardless of what you choose, I guess when you go to Myers, you could have vegetable oil or butter, and they're the same price. Our butter around here is almost $5. 2 eggs. Now this is where it gets pricey, I'm almost positive. Shoot, $5.99. See, that's not much different than the price at Dollar General. Dollar General is selling them for $6.35. Dollar General is a mile and a half from my house. So there's that. The local grocery is closer to this price, $8.29. So there's quite a large difference in the egg prices between Myers and my local grocery. Need salt. Salt should be cheap. Let's hope. 79 cents for iodized salt. And, well, their flour is not a bad price. I'm paying about $5 for 5 pounds of flour. That flour is actually affordable. I don't know how much it is at Dollar General. I could look, though. I get my flour free from the food pantry, too. Dollar General, how much it is. I'm looking it up on my phone. The flour at Dollar General is $2.35. And theirs is $2.49. So actually, I can get my flour cheaper at Dollar General than I could at Myers. All right. So, is that everything? Yeah, because all it says is it wants you to do an egg wash. So let's see how much this cost. $25.06. Let's view the whole cart. Okay, and if I wanted to pick it up, it's a $5 fee, but the item total is $25.06. There's nothing that isn't food here, so there would be no taxes on this. So it would likely cost $25. Now, if I wanted somebody to grab this for me, and I had a car, and I wanted to go pick it up, I could pay $30.01 for it. So that's how much it costs to buy everything for these hamburger buns. Now, how much is it for actual hamburger buns? It is $2.69. I wouldn't buy those if hell froze over first. So, Aunt Millie's Stadium White Hamburger Buns is $2.69 on sale. So you would pay a little over $5 to buy 2 packs of that, which is pretty much what my hamburger buns, the yield that my hamburger bun recipe does. So you could buy them pre-made at the store for slightly over $5, or you could buy the ingredients and have all of this for $30. And here's the deal about buying ingredients. It's not cheaper up front to buy the ingredients in a lot of instances, and this is no exception. It is certainly more expensive to buy these ingredients than it is to buy 2 packs of hamburger buns. But here's the deal. You can make a lot of hamburger buns out of 5 pounds of flour. And I would also maybe put on some sausage with this and, make biscuits and gravy out of that flour. You can make homemade bread out of that flour. That salt is going to last you 6 months to a year to forever. The eggs would probably last you all week. The butter probably lasts you all week. So you've kind of got your part of your weekly shopping list in here too. If you're like me with sugar, that's going to last at least a month, maybe longer. This should last you 2 or 3 months, maybe 6 to a year, depending on how much you bake. And this, of course, is going to last 1 to 2 weeks, depending on how many people are in your household and what you do with the milk. You could also throw in some cornmeal on this and make cornmeal porridge, which is what I had for breakfast on the morning that I am actually doing this piece of the video. So, there you go. This is like, half of somebody's shopping list. Throw some meat and vegetables on this and you're done. Okay, so that's that. I just wanted to show that to you real quick. So let's get back to the video where I am actually making the hamburger buns using the bread machine. So let's see how that worked out. Alright folks, so I just realized that probably I'm going to make hamburgers tonight. But I don't have any hamburger buns. Whoopsies. So what I do have is a recipe for hamburger buns and the ingredients to make them. So I need 2 cups of milk, a 1/4 cup of warm water, a 1/4 ounce of yeast, a 1/4 cup of sugar, 2 eggs, half stick of butter, 4 tablespoons, salt, 6 cups of flour. Oh, they want to do an egg wash. And a round cookie cutter, which I have. Let's make some hamburger buns. Alright, so I'm going to start with the dry ingredients in the bread machine. So I'm going to get the flour. I need 4 cups of flour to start off with. And we all know that's going to be 480 grams. So let me do that. It's 485. So 480 grams of flour. I need some salt, a tablespoon of salt. So that's about 15 grams of salt. Okay, that's enough. I got 11 grams in there. I think that's plenty. So we're doing right there. I need to check the skillet and we'll start on the wet ingredients. All right, folks. I'm going to back this up, see if you can see the skillet. Well, you can see just about the edge of it. So I'll put you down here. There's the skillet. I need 2 cups of milk. And this is a recipe that I've made before. I know it works, but I'm going to put 2 cups of milk in here, which is 16 ounces. There we go, 15.8, but who's counting? And I need 2 ounces of water. So we'll do it like this. This is the cup I use for the coffee machine. So I need 2 ounces of water, so I will tare it and put in 2 ounces of water. That was exactly, well, 2.1. The thing lags just a little bit. A ½ ounce of yeast, but I need to wait. I'm looking to see how much sugar I need. Where is the sugar? Okay, 1/4 cup of sugar, so that is 2 ounces of sugar. And I want that in this milk. So 2 ounces of sugar. How about 2.7 ounces of sugar? It'll be okay because I'm telling you, even putting an ounce more sugar in here than it calls for, it's still not going to be as sweet as the stuff that you buy at the store. So we're going to warm this up on the stove. Got me a fork. So we're going to warm this milk up, and then I'm going to let it cool off, and then we're going to add the yeast and the oil. And I love these hamburger buns. These are my favorite. These are by far better than the grocery store. So what I want to do is dissolve the sugar in the milk and water. And it doesn't really take very long, so I'm going to stand here and do it. And I'm going to stand right in front of the camera, too. My recipe is behind the phone. 2 eggs lightly beaten. I don't get why they want them beaten. Let me see here. So the directions say, bring the milk to a simmer in a saucepan and then remove from heat. That's what we're doing now. Then stir together the warm water, yeast, 1/2 teaspoon of sugar into the bowl. And that's what you do. Then you add the butter, the warm milk, the remaining 1/4 sugar, and the eggs. All right, so I can add the eggs to this dry stuff. So I think I will. It's been a while since I've made this. Boy. You know, I was worried, me and the lady at the store the other day was worried that we wouldn't go through these eggs by the time they expired. Truth is, I've only got, after I do this, I'll have 6 eggs left. So, yeah, I'm going to go through them. Crack that other egg, yeah. Yeah, I would say I'm going to move through these eggs just fine. Because there's 1 egg. Why didn't I like this one over here? Oh. You know, it's got bumpies on it. So, I didn't think a grade A egg could have bumps on it like that. Could have been one that got past quality control. I would have got the 18 count eggs, but they were not in date. They had expired. By the time I got to by the time I saw them, they were 2 days expired. They expired on Friday, and it was Sunday. All right, so this is done. I think this is warm enough. All right, my milk is warm enough. My eggs are in with the flour. So this I need for it to cool off. Let's see what it feels like. Actually, that's perfect for yeast. All right, so I am going to move this bucket for a minute. I'm going to put this on the scale. And I need a ½ ounce of yeast. All right, so I'm going to leave that alone for about 5 minutes, and it should turn foamy. If you're wondering what time it is 2:30. I should have these done before 5. They should be done before 5. Because I'll start cooking the hamburgers and onions and everything while these bake. So let me show you what my yeast looks like. It smells great. So this is new yeast that I bought about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I've gone through quite a bit of it already. So we just let that sit there until it gets foamy, and actually you can see where some of it already is getting kind of foamy. Alright, so while that foams up, I'm going to finish putting the stuff in. So I need half a stick of butter, so I need 2 ounces of oil. And here's the thing, when they say butter, what they really mean is any kind of fat. They like butter because it gives a good color, it gives a good flavor, and it's usually salted. The milk's just about ready. Got the milk in, got the water in, got the yeast in, got the sugar in, got the oil in, got the eggs in, salt's in, flour's in, and I'm not doing an egg wash. Egg washes are obnoxious. They're just irritating to do. So I'm going to put this in. And then I'm going to put 2 more cups of flour in here. Although it's kind of full already. I want to see how this mixes, so I'm going to put it in the bread machine. It's a big recipe. I actually was looking through my book to see how much bread or how much flour they usually put in these things, and the 2-pound recipes call for 4 cups, which is what is in there now. So I'm going to wipe out the bread machine just a little bit, and I'm going to put this in here and watch it. And this is another recipe where I only want it to mix in the bread machine. I don't want it to bake. So the last 2 cups of flour in this recipe are dependent on the consistency of the dough, which is why I'm going to go ahead and put it in the bread machine and let it start mixing. And I'm positive it'll need more flour, but just how much more? Well, who knows? The dough setting takes an hour and a half. So, there it is. And this is literally what the recipe says. You put 4 cups in right away, and then you put the last 2 cups in kind of gradually. And yes, you can still do that with a bread machine. Alright, I'm going to let that mix for a minute and I'll come back. Alright, so I had to scrape the sides and do a little bit to it. This is coming along nicely, so I'm going to let it do its thing and I'll be back in a bit. So here's the dough. It's got 25 minutes left on it. I've gone ahead and opened the lid because otherwise it's going to hit the glass, which I was afraid of with 6 cups of flour in there. But it gets a second rise, so I'm not too terribly concerned. But anyway, I'm going to let it sit there for the next 25 minutes, and then I will transfer it over to the table, and we will work on it. All right, so it's been about 3 minutes since the last little segment. I decided I changed my mind. As I was cleaning up the table and washing my round thing, I could hear the heating element in the toaster oven clicking on and off. You know what? That's going to wear the machine out. So rather than continue to let it click on and off like that for 25 minutes, I'm just going to call it. It's risen plenty enough anyway. I mean, technically you want the dough to double in size, and this has certainly done that. It was up to about right here. So it's definitely doubled in size. So I just want to turn this out. And this is one of those doughs that rises twice anyway. This This couldn't possibly be any stickier. And we want to get all of it out. And once I make these hamburger buns, I'll have hamburger buns for quite a while because I made the full recipe. Okay, I'm getting... It's a little stickier than I anticipated. The beater bar didn't come out with it though. That's kind of interesting. All right, so that's good enough. So I want to knead this a little. Wow, is that sticky? It's very, very sticky dough. I've already washed this table like 1,000 times, so the table's clean. So what I want to do is knead this a couple of times. And it's a nice warm dough ball, let me tell you. And I want to read the directions. I wanted to see how much I had to roll the dough out. This is another one where if you have a rolling pin, it's awesome. So we want to roll this out until it's about a 1/2 inch thick. I didn't even check to see how many hamburgers this makes, hamburger buns. But we want to do what we do with all of it, and that is press it out until it is a 1/2 inch thick. So that's probably it right there, actually. Let me press down the ends. That's probably it right there. Yep. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's it. So then you take your round thing, whatever it is, and you punch it through the dough. And this is how I can check and make sure it is a 1/2 inch. Yeah, for sure. That's fine. And we just make the hamburger buns. This makes a ton. Oops. Oh no, it's fine. I thought for a minute I deformed one. No, it didn't happen. All right, so we're gonna do that. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I've got 12 hamburger buns so far. Then you just knead it and roll it out again, 1/2 inch thick. And you take your cutter and you make some more hamburger buns. These are a little bit too thick, but that's okay. And I'll see if I can make one more. That's it. So this recipe made 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 19 hamburger buns. So I don't need hamburger buns for a while. But these have to rise again until they've doubled in size. So it'll be about 4:30 before I can put them in the toaster oven. All right, I'll be back in 30 minutes. It's been just about 30 minutes, so it is time to pop these onto a tray and get them in the toaster oven to bake. Some of these rose pretty well, others of them not so much. That's probably to be expected. It's pretty cold back here. But let's go ahead and throw these on the tray. I think I can get 6 of them on the tray. Yep, looks like it. So 6 of them can bake at a time. This means it's going to take me take about 4 batches to get these done. They should take about 30 minutes. At this point, it's time to start the rest of dinner. I'm starving. I was hoping to be eating in about 30 minutes. It may still happen, but I don't know. All right, let's take a look at the buns that are in the toaster oven. So there's the ones that are in the toaster oven. So I'm going to start with the bacon that I want for my hamburger. Obviously, I'm not going to wait until all the rolls are done before I start cooking. I'll never eat if I did that. Should be plenty of bacon for my burger. Check out these hamburger buns. Those are amazing. I don't believe that one's touching the wall. Or maybe it is in the back. I don't know. Anyway, check that out. Fresh homemade hamburger buns. So while my bacon and hamburger buns are cooking, I would like some sauteed onions with this. So I'm going to get an onion out and saute some onions. One of these onions fell on the bottom of my cabinet, so we'll just cut up this one that fell. I have a tough time figuring out where to store things. Especially when they're fresh. Vegetables and things like that. House really isn't built for that. That onion looks tasty. There are good things about not freezing your onions. Like, I want to eat these on a hamburger. So what I don't want to do is dice them up. Instead, I kind of want to do this. Cut them in half and then slice them like that. And I will stick them in the skillet as soon as the bacon's done. I'll stick them in with the hamburger. That's what I'll do. Let's see how my bacon's doing. I put a piece of foil on top to get them to cook a little bit faster. I got about 13 minutes on the first round of buns. I tell you, if you're going to make your own home-cooked baconator, do it right. Make sure you got lots of bacon. It looks great. I'm impressed. Are you impressed? That back one's getting a little toasty, but there's only about 10 minutes left. 11 and a half minutes. I think I will turn it down to 225 on the next batch. In fact, I just turned it down to 225. I got a couple of tops that are looking pretty crispy. They'll still be delicious, but you know. All right, my bacon's about done. I think my neighbors are moving. And actually, the neighbors that are moving used to manage the park about 3 years ago. So they've been here. They had been here 6 or 7 years by the time I got here. And this will be my 10th year here if I stay the whole year. I don't think it's going to happen. These guys are really, really awful. And I guess that pretty much proves it. A long-term tenant of 17 years is getting the F out of here. I don't blame them. Good for them. So yeah, this place is just, it's gotten bad, folks. It used to be a very welcoming community. I'm telling you, whoever this corporate nasty company is that bought this place, they're awful. I mean, people don't move after 17, 18 years without a good reason. And this new management company will give you a reason every other day. But they're working on trying to give you a reason every day. Alright, the bacon is done. So I'm going to slap my hamburger in there and my onions. Alright, did you watch the video where I did the hamburgers? There they are. So all I have to do is that. And then I just put them in the skillet. One of these, these are 5-ounce burgers, I think. So just one for today. And I'll show it to you here as soon as I wash my hands. I think I'll hold off on the onion for just a minute because it is a frozen burger. So let me show it to you. There it is. It's going to cook in the bacon grease. I'm going to put some spices on it. So let me do that. I need my pepper. Garlic. And try again. Where's that fork? And then I'm going to turn it over and do the other side. And I'm going to put a foil on top of that to help it cook. If I don't, the outside will get burnt and the inside will not be done. So that's going to take a minute. But let's go look at the hamburger buns again. 2 minutes left. There they are. I turned them down to 325. 330 was a little too hot. There they are. They look excellent. The hamburger buns just beeped. Check these out. Check out that one in the corner. Oh my God. So I'm going to put these on some foil and grab the next 6. Just as these were finishing up, I was like, where am I going to put these? I'm kind of out of counter space. I'm making a hamburger over here. I got onions and bacon over there. I got the whole bottom table as buns. I figured it out. I'll show you in a minute. Yes, I like to make sure my hands are super duper clean. Super duper. And yes, I will put a link to the recipe that I am using in the description. So let me get the next 6. These are incredible. This is why I say, I said the other day, anything that's on my tablet is a really, really good recipe because I've made it several times if it's on my tablet. And these are no exception. Check those out. They're going in right now. Alright, let's take a look at the buns on the fresh homemade hamburger buns. There are still 7 over there. So what I'll probably do is cook 4 and cook 3 because they're really supposed to be touching. Those look delicious. And let's go look at the hamburger and see how it's doing. It's a little smoky. I don't know why it's a little smoky. I'm going to put the onions in there, though, here in a minute. My burger is thawed and looking good. It's a little smoky in here. I have the window cracked. It's probably the spices that I put on the burger. Probably should have added just a hair of water to that, but I didn't do it. So I'm going to add the onions now. Trying to decide if I want to make some French fries. I am not sure. Well, I think this meal will be super incomplete without French fries, so I think I'm going to do it. Alright, so I decided to make some French fries. I'm going to do it. Oh, I need to turn on the thing, though. I had to turn on my deep fryer. My second batch of hamburger buns looks amazing. I tell you, folks, if you have never made your own hamburger buns, you need to try it. I'm almost ready to start cutting potatoes. I'm going to put these in the basket. Then I'm going to cut up this potato, which may or may not be any good. Alright, I'd say it's done. These buns have another 10 minutes on it, but I don't have to wait for those to eat because I already have buns that are done. My French fries are almost done. I believe my burger is done. I will check it here in a second. So here's my hamburger bun. When you bake them yourself, you have to slice them yourself, which is actually part of the fun. Oh ho ho ho! Fresh hamburger bun, check that out. That looks amazing. Amazing. Right. So let me see if my hamburger is done. I need to slice it. I don't have a thermometer that I can test the meat with, but it looks done. Yeah, it's completely done. Alright, so that is done. Let me get out some cheese and put that. I guess I better use what's already open, and that's this Italian cheese, which is fine. There's only a little bit in there, so we'll go ahead and use the Italian cheese that's already open, just so I can use the rest of it. And I ran out of ketchup this morning, so I'm having the ketchup, but I did remember that I have ranch dressing, which, hey, ranch dressing is good too. Should be able to get some more ketchup from the food pantry on Wednesday. Oh, these are done. My French fries are done. Alright, so we want plenty of cheese. That's clump of cheese. Something got set on the cheese, I think. Alright, so put that on there. Then we've got bacon and onions to put on here. And possibly jalapenos if I can get them to fit. So here's the bacon. And sauteed onions. There we go. I think I can get the jalapenos to fit. So the jalapenos are going to fit. I can feel it. Put a few jalapenos on the thing. Alright. It's taken me forever to put this together. Alright, so we want some jalapenos on here. Or at least I want some jalapenos on there. Alright. So, there it is, folks. My gargantuan homemade hamburger with the homemade bun and my French fries. I only made one potato. The other one wasn't any good. It had a bunch of cuts in it, and then it was bruised on the inside, so I said to hell with that. Alright, folks. Check it out. Let's add some ranch dressing to this. And I just like it on the side, so. This is going to be amazing, I can tell. That's amazing. And this burger is bigger than my mouth. I don't think it gets any better, folks. Alright. I'm telling you. That is good. Alright. So there it is, folks. Hamburger and French fries with ranch dressing. It's a bacon jalapeno ranch burger. And French fries on a homemade hamburger bun. Anyway, if you liked this video, please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you later.